Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. And, of course, the Brian Craig Show podcast is brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, who will never sell you a roof you do not need, as another hurricane is on its way to Florida. This one may hit us. Tom Laporta's information is all the more important since he covers Florida, and we're going to be hitting Florida. We'll talk more about that later. A lot of stuff to cover. A lot of things have happened over the weekend. Ivanka Trump tweeted something which was absolutely amazing. And I don't remember the last time I looked at one of Ivanka Trump's tweets, but this one came up. And she had a photograph of the Kamala Harris event over the weekend in Flint, Michigan. Now, Flint, Michigan is supposed to be one of the most popular places for the Democrat Party. It's one of those old union towns. Remember Michael Moore and all that, Flint, Michigan. And she had an event at this place called the DORT, D-O-R-T, the DORT Financial Center, which has a capacity of 6,500 people in this arena. 47 showed up. You heard me, 47.
What's
47,
the capacity?
6,500.
Okay.
47 people showed up to the Kamala Harris event in Flint, Michigan. So what they did is they bust a bunch of people in from somewhere. I don't know where they got them. The mall, the streets, the homeless shelters. I don't know. But they bust them in to fill it up before she got there. The 47 people were the ones that drove themselves there. Now, of course, over the weekend, President Trump went back to Butler, and there were more people than they could count. I mean, it was as far as the eye could see. There were so many people, they were reaching the curvature of the earth. It went so far back, the crowd. I mean, it was
an incredible.
It was amazing
rally. It was exciting. And Elon was there jumping up and down. And he had this incredible opera singer, Chris Macho, at the end, who was amazing.
Well, the thing about the Trump rally in Butler, people were not bussed in. They had buses there to build walls of protection around the venue in case another never Trumper, tried to go on a spree again. But they did not bus people in. Those tens of thousands of people drove themselves there all on their own. Unlike the Kamala event, 47 people. How embarrassing. And, this event that Trump had in Butler over the weekend, and I don't know how many of you had this experience, but when he came out, I was tearing up. I couldn't believe I was crying. And you said that Lee Greenwood's actually there singing. I'm like, no way. And it did sound like a live version of the song, and I didn't see Lee Greenwood because the camera was on Trump, but Lee Greenwood was there in person singing. Yeah. And it was a great speech. The whole rally was amazing. I watched it all day on Right Side, but watching it from home, I was terrified the whole time from beginning until he left because of what happened last time. And it takes a lot of guts for Donald Trump to go there where he got shot in the same spot he was standing.
If he was nervous or anxious, you could not tell. Mm-hmm. Him and J.D. Vance, and that's why it's so important to be calm under pressure, because you can be nervous, but whether you show it or not is what's key when you're dealing with world leaders and when you're on stage and when you're presenting yourself. Like J.D. Vance said, he was very nervous at the debate, but you couldn't tell at all. I mean, he was cool as a cucumber. Tim Walz was just fumbling and mumbling and prancing and fidgeting all over the place. And you could read it. You could see it. Kamala, when her teleprompter goes off, she gets this blank look on her face. It just happened the other day. She starts repeating herself. They're not even smart enough or clever enough to cover when things go wrong. They totally fall apart. But Trump, I'm sure he was anxious a little bit. I mean, he did mention the other day that he doesn't sleep as well as he used to because he's worried about things. And he said that's not something he ever had an issue with, and now it's becoming an issue, but that's normal. So he's not, he's not invulnerable to these things. He is a human being. But he came out there and he looked tough. He looked strong. He looked comfortable. He looked confident, and he was out there for a good 2 hours because when the opera singer came out, Macho, Trump stood there for 20 minutes just watching him sing. It was incredible.
Well,
that made you really nervous.
The thing with the rally with the Back to Butler rally, there were a lot of people there with Trump, like Elon Musk and everything. But the only people from the Trump family I saw was Eric and Laura Trump. Laura goes everywhere because she's running the RNC, and Eric was there. And I didn't see Don Jr. or anything. And a lot of people, these sick, twisted, people like The View, like Sonny Hostin, they think, Melania and Barron, they're not there because they're mad and she hates him and she wants to divorce. They hate him. So everybody does, including his wife in their mind, right? The Trumps, I think the security threat against the Trumps is so high. I don't think it's like the royal family. They don't travel anywhere all together anymore.
Right. No.
Because they don't want the whole family wiped out. They're under so much threat. And it's not just these never-Trumpers that our own people are operating, right? I mean, those 2 assassination attempts, I think everybody believes that those were homegrown by organizations inside our own country. But then you've got the Iranians after them. And the Iranians are the top experts on terrorism. And they have army, they have an intelligence service, a lot of money. So he's got a nation state after them outside of our own in Iran. And that's why Melania and Barron and they're not all there because it's dangerous. And
we're assuming.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Eric, they did that one rally after when he brought up Eric's kids. I didn't see him do that yesterday. You know what I mean? No, Eric and Laura came out, but not with him. They came out before.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of security.
They're not grouping up together.
No, they're taking precautions because they're all under. Remember, Don Jr. said they're all the family's being threatened directly by Iran. It's all about taking out Soleimani. And these people like the MSNBC crowd and Never Trumpers, they're pissed that Trump's alive. Let's face it, that he survived 2 assassination attempts. They're pissed that he survived 2 assassination attempts. And when they talk about it, they don't even hide it. They act like. Well, he makes a big deal. He didn't really get shot enough to be making a big deal about it. Can you imagine? Which is absurd. But their other attitude is...
What is getting shot enough?
Exactly. Another thing is that they act like, well, he deserved it. They act like. And, Trump going back to Butler, I bet you Jackie Kennedy never went back to Dealey Plaza for the rest of her life. I don't know of any instance of her going to Dealey Plaza. And I'll tell you another thing, too. I don't know. I don't know if this has happened or not, but I think it would have made the news if John F. Kennedy Jr. or Carolyn Kennedy ever been to Dealey Plaza. I've never heard of them going to Dealey, but if you don't know, that's where President Kennedy was shot. When he was driving by the book depository. I don't know if they ever went there, but I know Carolyn. I'm sorry that Jackie Kennedy didn't, or we would definitely know about that. But it was pretty brave of him to do it. And when Elon Musk came up, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Now there's a couple guys, depending on the stock market, the particular day that alternate between the richest man in the world. But more days than not, I mean, I asked Alexa during the rally yesterday. He's the richest man in the world as of today. Now he may be the second richest, depending on what the stock market does, next week, and then he'll be the richest again. You know how that goes. But he's the richest man in the world, the richest man in the United States. He's the richest African American as well because he's from South Africa. And not only did Elon Musk go there, he went out on stage and was pleading with people in a MAGA hat, the black MAGA hat, right? I have one of those with the black writing, the dark MAGA hat. He was wearing a MAGA hat. He went up on stage and was pleading with people to turn out and vote. And he says, if you don't, that's it. And he made it was kind of a funny joke, but it was so true. He says, we've got one president who can't walk up a flight of stairs, and we got another president who gets up and fist bumps after he gets shot. Which one do you want? And then you got Kamala Harris, who's giving her speech, and the teleprompter goes out, and she repeats the last part of the last sentence that was on the teleprompter over and over again because she's such a bird brain. She doesn't have another thought in her head to vamp through a second. But the rally was amazing. And at the end, Trump did something. He had this opera singer on who was incredible. I followed him on Instagram and Twitter. And he came up before Trump and sang when this guy was doing that painting. Right. And then Trump introduced him during the rally and said at the end he's going to sing, 3 or 4 songs. I thought, okay, that's interesting. The guy came up. He's like, he got an incredible opera voice, this guy, this Italian opera singer. He's American, but he sings Italian opera and stuff. And President Trump did something that I was shocked that he did. And he did not have to do this. And I imagine his security detail were not happy about this. The speech is over. The opera singer comes up, and President Trump stood up there on the stage with the guy the whole time he was singing, because he didn't want the crowd to leave while the guy was singing. It was like he must know this guy somehow. I don't know. He respects him enough where he didn't want him up there performing on stage and seeing the people leaving. So President Trump stayed on stage. And then he sang a couple of songs. And then after one of the songs, Trump went up to him and told him he should move to the other side of the stage. So he moved to the other, and he stayed there the whole time, which, and you made a point when we were watching the speech. You said at the Kamala rallies, they have the free concerts in the beginning. They get people there. Kamala comes out and they leave. Trump, he does the free concert at the end after he's done.
Right.
And he stays on stage so they don't leave for the performance.
Exactly.
And I thought that was really nice of him to do that. But it took a lot of guts for him to go out on a stage and stand in the same spot where he got shot just a few weeks back. I mean, who could do that?
Well, they said he's going to be campaigning a lot, so I recommend, they said every day. So if you go to Trump events, it's DonaldTrump.com, Donald J. Trump. He's got a rally today in Wisconsin, and then he has one Wednesday in Scranton, Joe Biden's hometown. Then another one Wednesday in Pennsylvania. So he's really focusing, and then J.D. Vance will be in Detroit, in Pennsylvania. I don't think they're going to be coming to Florida again. I think the last time they were here in Miami when Barron was there was the last time they'll be in Florida. I think that his strategy is very different, and he's not even visiting. He is really focusing on Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, the states the swing states that had the issue last time. That's what he's focusing on. That's where they're putting all their energy.
Florida's going to go Trump no matter what. So
I worry about North Carolina, because North Carolina and Georgia, because of the hurricane, and other people have mentioned this, that they think it's possible that they're not helping these people as fast as they normally would, because it's Trump country and they're trying to keep these people from voting. And I would not be surprised. They're trying to keep them distracted. And if that happened in their mind, I'm thinking like a liberal, if they can get them to not vote in North Carolina and Georgia in these heavy Trump areas, their thinking is, well, if we can win North Carolina and Georgia, that would definitely help her. No doubt about it. Those are big states with a lot of electoral votes. So that is my concern. I'm assuming Lara Trump is on this, making sure that everybody has a place to vote. But if you have been devastated by this Hurricane Helene, which has been horrible, and people are, if you just go on social media, people are like, have no home and they have bigger problems. They might not think about voting. Yeah. They might be like, you know what? I just can't be bothered right now. I'm sorry. I got to worry about feeding my kids and getting my home together. And I feel like, Kamala and them, I wouldn't hold this past them to purposely hold things up just to distract them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Would you think they would do that? I mean, I worry about those two states now.
It's a month away, and
I hope Lara Trump is on this.
Over the next week or two, things will start to settle out in North Carolina where these places were hit. I mean, we've gotten hit by really bad hurricanes in the first 2 weeks. When you get hit by a really bad one, the first 2 weeks are the worst part, and then after that, things get better pretty quick.
Well, as long as they have a place to go vote, that's my concern. The polling stations, and if these people are displaced, have moved, are living somewhere else, then what do? You have to vote at your polling station. So that's my concern there. Hopefully they'll be able to figure something out.
Well, we have a hurricane coming. It's going to hit Florida. It's going to hit Florida Wednesday night, Thursday. And it looks like a bad one. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. And I know hurricanes go through the Gulf all the time, but I don't remember getting hit by one that formed in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's only happened like one or two other times.
Yeah, I don't remember that. It is kind of
usually doesn't form there.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange area for it to happen. But this hurricane is we're now in the cone, and it originally it's going slow, so it was going further north. Now it came further south. Our
shifting.
Our neighbors across the street, they put their hurricane shutters up today, and a couple houses down from them, they put their shutters up early this morning. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. You got most of the time you put your hurricane shutters up, you don't get hit by the hurricane. But what happens is you got to put them up early because when the rains start coming, you don't want to be out there in the thunderstorm putting up the shutters.
And the wind.
So it doesn't take me long to get the shutters up. It takes, I don't know, about an hour by myself.
What a lot of people do is if a hurricane looks like it's headed our way, they will put shutters on half the house.
Yeah.
Early. So maybe tomorrow or maybe later this afternoon, put up like 2 or 3 shutters. And
I'm not putting anything up today.
Well, then tomorrow we'll see where it's shifting. If it shifts further south again, you're going to have to.
I'll probably start if we put them up. I'll probably put up most of them tomorrow. It doesn't take long, but you don't do it all the time. So I got them all marked on which window and the house they go on. But it takes about an hour for me to do. But this one is definitely hitting Florida, and the area, it was supposed to hit Tampa, then it was going to hit a little south of Tampa. Now we don't know. We're waiting for the latest update. But our daughter was flying to Florida from California on Thursday. I was going to meet her in Orlando. We were going to go to Universal Studios Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights. And it looks like we're going to cancel that now.
Yeah.
Because that area where Universal Studios is in Orlando floods a lot, and she's come. It's not cheap for her to come here all the way from California and everything. So I don't want her to come here and it be flooded and things be shut down post hurricane or no power.
Right.
But if you're in the state of Florida and you are affected by the last hurricane or the one that is on its way right now, and you need roof work done, whether it's repair or replacement, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. By the way, when it happens, you want to call your insurance company, but you want to call Tom Laporta too. And his response time is really quick. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, give him a call. He'll come out. He'll take a look at your roof. He'll cover it up to stop the leak. You know what I mean? And because he's not just a roofer, he's also a contractor, he's able to work directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof, which speeds up the process a lot. This is Tom Laporta's cell phone number. You may want to write this down and put it on the refrigerator. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. For Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. We'll be right back.
From author Michael Williams comes a book that will take you on a journey of self-discovery and deep reflection. Reflective Perceptions, a journey through thought and emotions. Available on Amazon. In this must-read and life-changing book, the author will take you through the depths of the human experience and unravel the complex layers of thought, emotion, and the unspoken inner word. Each poem in this collection offers a profound invitation to explore themes of personal growth, spiritual exploration, and of human nature. Whether you're seeking insight into your own heart or just looking to appreciate life's quiet, powerful moments, this book speaks to the essence of being human. Reflective Perceptions, a journey through thought and emotions, will leave you contemplating the beauty of life's nuances and finding deeper meaning in those everyday moments. Order your copy right now on Amazon and immerse yourself in poetry that speaks to the soul. Reflective Perceptions, a journey through thought and emotions, from author Michael Williams. It's that time of year again, Christmas shopping time, and there's no better place to find unique, personalized gifts than ActicFoxMarket.com. They're your go-to Etsy shop for custom gifts, home decor, accessories, and so much more. Whether you're shopping for a loved one, a coworker, or just looking for something special to give yourself, Arctic Fox Market on Etsy has you covered. They have everything from cozy apparel to custom accessories. You'll find something for everyone, and they're veteran-owned and operated, based out of Texas. Use the promo code FAV25 and save 25% off your entire purchase. They also have fast, free shipping inside the United States. Start shopping right now at ArcticFoxMarket.com and start crossing those names off your Christmas gift-giving list. Unique personal gifts delivered right to your door. ArcticFoxMarket.com. How would you like to earn more money and start living the life that you've dreamed of? You can learn how to do just that with the book from author Michael E. Bryant. Earn $300,000 plus per year as an AI prompt engineer. Available on Amazon. If you're looking to transition into a lucrative career, AI prompt engineering could be your next big opportunity. Author Michael E. Bryant is a seasoned expert and a prompt master at Chat Prompt Engineering, and he breaks down everything you need to know to succeed in this booming field. With this book, you'll learn the fundamentals of AI prompt engineering with a focus on tools like ChatGPT and other generative AI technologies. You'll discover the essential skills, training, and education you need to land a high-paying job or kickstart a successful freelance career. With real-world salary data, case studies, and expert advice, this book gives you the roadmap you need to start earning in the AI prompt engineering field. Are you ready to break into this exciting new industry? Then order your copy of Earn $300,000 plus per year as an AI prompt engineer from author Michael E. Bryant on Amazon.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Now, these people in the media, we've had 3 official assassination attempts against Trump, right? Butler, the golf course, and the Iranian plot, which was between the two of them. In fact, the Iranian...
Yeah, they caught a guy coming into JFK, right?
The Iranian guy, no, he was at the rally in Butler, scoping it out, planning an event at a future rally. And these people but Trump's the threat. MAGA's the threat.
That's
MAGA's
only the ones
danger.
we know about.
Yeah, exactly.
There could be others that we don't even know about.
So they continue to say, he's the threat. He's the danger. We're the danger. Listen to this. An Illinois man has been arrested and charged after allegedly threatening to kidnap and kill U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon.
Oh my goodness.
This is the Trump-appointed judge who dismissed the classified documents case against Trump. A 65-year-old man, he's facing 5 federal charges for allegedly threatening to kidnap and kill Judge Cannon, who is now overseeing the trial of the assassin from the golf course. But we're the dangerous ones. He's the danger. We're the threat. It's
incredible.
All this killing and stuff is coming from them.
Yeah. Well, they can't take responsibility for anything. They blame Trump for everything. All roads lead to Trump in their mind. There's no reasoning with these people. If you listen to them, and sometimes on X, I will look at comments that people make. Most of them are pro-Trump, but sometimes you get into a thread that's very anti-Trump, and the things they say is just shocking to me. Like what they believe and what they think is true. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, by the way, is interviewing Kamala.
Oh, yeah.
And he promoted it on X,
That'll
but he had to turn off the comments because they were so negative towards her. I'm sure it'll be a big softball. He hates Trump. It'll be a big anti-Trump. Trump's this, Trump's that. Trump's awful. Trump's evil. Melania did an interview with Maria Bartiromo, and she said that she wanted to make a donation for foster kids.
Who wanted to make a donation?
Melania.
No.
For foster kids, a scholarship. She wanted to set up a scholarship for foster kids.
That's awesome.
Through this organization.
Who have no family.
Right. And the organization turned her down because it was her. She said they cannot accept her money because of her political affiliations.
Oh, my goodness.
So she said now foster kids that would have been able to go to college that I was going to pay for, and she said that has happened many times where they won't accept my money anymore because of who I'm married to. And she said, I just don't understand that. But we're the evil people.
So some foster kid with no family, or
maybe
maybe a bunch of them, who knows, they're billionaires. Foster kids will not have a scholarship that they otherwise would have had because some never-Trumper lunatic is running this program. I wanted to play this clip. This is Reince Priebus with Donna Brazile. Donna Brazile, for those who don't remember Donna Brazile, she's got a haircut kind of like Don King, but she was the campaign manager for Al Gore in 2000, okay? And she's also the one who gave the debate questions to Hillary Clinton in before the Trump debate in 2016.
We're talking about the President of the United States practically getting killed. And we all condemn that. You're hitting 20 different topics.
The Democrats condemn that. But the lies, the floodgate of lies must stop.
What lies? Like that President Trump's going to monitor women's pregnancies? Oh, that's Project 2025. Has nothing to do with President Trump. But you know what? It's a good talking point for the Democrats, so they keep saying it. They lie all the time.
Oh, yeah, Reince Priebus.
Good for him.
Reince Priebus, he's all butch now. He wants a job with Trump's second term, right? He's getting all butch.
But he's right about that, though.
You know, this thing about...
And she says, oh, wow, that means she doesn't know what to say.
Yeah, this thing about Project 2025. If you turn on MSNBC any time of the day or night, they're probably talking about Project 2025. It is the biggest boogeyman I've ever seen.
Yeah. They know it's not true.
President Trump's never read it. I've never read it. And they've created this whole scary thing. Now, I don't even know what's in Project 2025. They say, but I don't know. These are Democrats. That they're going to monitor women's pregnancies. This is the thing about abortion. President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. We've got to settle with that right now. I would recommend not getting involved in any debate with Democrats on abortion. The Democrats, that's one issue that they love to debate, and they think they got us on it. And I believe. I don't know if we talked about this on the last podcast or not. I think we might have. Kathy and I, we talk about things off the air too. So sometimes I forget what we talk about on the podcast and what we're talking about just going to sleep and lying in bed at night,
We live, eat, and breathe this stuff.
But this
even in the middle of the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, like I stay up later than Brian.
Yeah. I
don't go to bed till like 1 because I have...
Kathy goes to bed when I'm waking up.
Because of my medicine. I have some issues with sleeping sometimes. And he gets up at 1:30, 2 o'clock. So sometimes we are awake at that time. And I'm not kidding. He'll wake up and start talking about Trump, or he'll get in his phone and look, did you see this? Did you see that? So this is like, more than just a job. It's like our whole life
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Revolves around Trump.
It's a lifestyle.
In a good way.
An alternative lifestyle.
What's going on in the world.
But
exactly.
I believe, and you may have heard me talk about this over the last few days, guys. I can't remember, but maybe I did.
I'll let you know.
I know we talked about it, but I just don't know if I have on the show. But this thing about Melania Trump coming out with a pro-choice position in this interview and in this book, I think that was by design with her, President Trump, in the Trump campaign. And I think the reason that is the polling they have. Okay, the polling they have shows that a lot of women are still pro-choice. They want to vote for Trump, but that issue turns them off of voting for Trump. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm not going to vote because Listen, Kamala Harris's husband was accused of beating up a woman, okay? And I heard people say, well, we're voting for her, not him. That's okay. I think, isn't that crazy?
If you don't vote for Trump because of his wife's position on that's just crazy. Okay. I don't agree with her position, and I'm not happy she said anything about it. I think she should have but she's trying to sell a book, and then
I don't think that's
her
what
personal belief.
I
Maybe
think,
you're right. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you what
I don't like that she
are.
made a video about it. I think she should have waited on that.
I think that they decided for her to do this to balance things out with them. So a lot of women will say, okay, well, maybe Trump's a lot more anti-abortion than I am, but his wife isn't, and
she has his ear.
She'll bring some balance to that.
Yeah, probably.
And President Trump said the other day that he would veto a federal ban on abortion, okay?
Yeah.
And he's even said in interviews that after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, some states have gone too far in their restrictions. He said something. And a lot of people that are evangelical say, well, I'm not going to vote for Trump over that. I'm not going to vote for Trump.
That's just crazy.
So first of all, that is so stupid.
It is.
Okay? What you're doing is you're going to give somebody the presidency that agrees with abortion 100% in all instances. However, I think President Trump is very pro-life. He put those pro-life judges up there to overturn Roe v. Wade. Nobody else did that.
No.
All these other
Think
Republicans
of all the babies
talked about it.
Saved.
There's been over 1 million babies born because of that, probably, maybe even more. And how many people will be? I believe overturning Roe v. Wade will be his biggest accomplishment of both terms, no matter what else he does, because millions over eternity, hundreds of millions of people will be born and have lives.
Well, Lila
because
Rogers attacked her.
Lila Rose.
Rose attacked her. And a few other pro-life
Well, Lila
people.
Rose, when's the last time you heard about her? So now people talk about her for 10 minutes on TV, so she's all excited. The issue, there's a lot of issues that are important, right? Abortion is, I'm pro-life. I'm so pro-life that I'm against the death penalty, okay? I'm opposed to the death penalty. I'm very pro-life, okay? That's not, taking someone's life is not for me to decide, unless my life's in danger and I got to defend myself or Kathy or something. But, it's an important issue. Abortion's an important issue. There's a lot of important issues, but they don't matter if Trump doesn't get reelected. So, the art of the deal is the art of the compromise.
That's right.
And you can't get everything you want or say, well, I'm going to go home and not play and whine and lose everything. You've got to make –
Well, that's what Franklin Graham talked about in Falwell when they were trying to get the thing that concerns me, though, is Trump said only 19% of evangelicals vote.
I was shocked.
Which is shocking. And if this position of hers – chips away at some of that, which I believe it could, that's not good. And so I'm sure he knew she was making this video and put it out there before she did, and I'm sure it had his approval. I'm not sure, though, if it was a good thing to do, whether she was trying to help him or not. I put a poll in your YouTube. Most people felt she was trying to help him. I don't know if that's the kind of help he needs right now. I personally feel they should stay away from that issue altogether.
I agree.
Altogether during this time. I don't think it should have been brought up because it got a whole dialogue going, and people either took it, he's not pro-life enough for me, or she hates her husband and they don't have a good marriage. Nothing good came out of it as far as I'm concerned. So I like Melania, but I wish she would not have made the video how she was just like, it's not compromisable. This is, this is it for her. There's no wiggle room here. She is pro-choice.
Isn't Melania Catholic?
I thought so.
Yeah.
And that was another problem I had because she's Catholic. She's supposedly very religious. So I don't understand her stance on this. I think she should have said, I only believe in abortion if the like the 3 exceptions, that's it. Otherwise, I was very surprised that she's pro-choice, I got to tell you, because she loves kids, she's very pro-family, and she's very religious apparently. So that really shocked me, and I was frankly a little disappointed that she did that. Of course, I'm going to vote for Trump still. I don't care what her opinion is on that, but I really wish she would have just kept it to herself. But I think some of it is, too, to sell her book. And, that's her opinion. I get it. They don't share a brain, and she's not running for office. And I don't think that it's going to change what Trump does. But I just kind of was a little disappointed in her position on that, and I wish that she really just kind of didn't mention the book. I just think Trump Trump said he never even read her book. So maybe if he would have read it, maybe he would have said to her, maybe leave that out. Maybe
I don't. There's no way that her book was published without Trump's people reading it first.
There's another aspect that's possible, which I'm sure you'll disagree with. Part of me feels like she's trying to get back in with her girlfriends and, get uncanceled. She's had a lot of people that aren't friends with her anymore. She's not on magazine covers anymore. She's a lot younger than Trump. And part of me feels like she's thinking about her future beyond her husband. And she's letting everybody know, I don't think this way. And I want you to know for sure that I don't think exactly like my husband, especially on this issue. I'm much more liberal on this. It was really important for her to let people know that, whether it was to help him or not. I don't think it was a good call. And I sometimes think it was more to help her. So tell us what you guys think on that. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with me. I know Brian does, but that's my opinion on that.
Well, no, I think that they did read the book. His campaign read the book. His people read the book. And I think it was a coordinated thing for her to like give balance to the issue and the Trump family, because their polling is telling them that a lot of women are pro-choice. And it's important to win. It doesn't matter if Kamala wins, okay? We're in a lot of trouble. Now, I want to tell you guys that if you would like to support the program, a great way to do that is to become a Patreon supporter. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes, okay? And that's exclusive to Patreon supporters. You get commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on each and every program. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this and every episode of the program. The names you'll hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R, and John S. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take our last break. There's a whole bunch to get to after the break. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
If you're a cat lover, you know the struggle. Keeping your furry friends from scratching up your furniture can feel like a full-time job, but not anymore, thanks to the cat scratcher from CatScratcherGuy.com. Unlike those flimsy cardboard scratchers that fall apart and leave a mess, these durable cat scratchers are built to last. They're perfect for protecting your furniture and keeping your cat's claws healthy. Use the promo code Brian at checkout and receive 20% off your order. Plus, enjoy shipping for just $3 on any order. Say goodbye to scratched up furniture and hello to happy, healthy cats with CatScratcherGuy.com. Protect your home and treat your cat today. That's CatScratcherGuy.com. And don't forget, use the promo code Brian and save 20%. CatScratcherGuy.com. Attention automotive enthusiast. AutoMaxify is your ultimate destination for a vast selection of automotive accessories and gadgets, from wireless car chargers and dashboard phone holders to portable air pumps and toolkits. AutoMaxify has it all. Enjoy fast, free international shipping and seasonal discounts. Be one of the first 300 customers to use code MAX15 for 15% off your order. Discover your next favorite gadget at AutoMaxify.us. Don't miss out. Visit AutoMaxify.us today. AutoMaxify. Elevate your drive with innovation. From author A.J. Knight comes a novel that you will not be able to put down until the very last page. The Orphan of Destiny, David Hall. The story follows David Hall. He's a young orphan navigating a world of deception and danger. As he fights to rebuild his deceased parents' empire, he uncovers a hidden enemy determined to destroy him and anyone who dares to block their path to power. Readers say The Orphan of Destiny, David Hall is captivating in that it's filled with twists and turns, as well as incredible character development and vivid storytelling. The Orphan of Destiny, David Hall is a story of courage, intelligence, and a determination to be the good that triumphs over evil. If you love mystery, suspense, and action, The Orphan of Destiny, David Hall is your next must-read book. Available right now on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited. Join the adventure and order your copy of The Orphan of Destiny, David Hall from author A.J. Knight on Amazon.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. Broadcasting from sunny South Florida, Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. So Tim Walz went on with Shannon Bream on Fox News Sunday, and I just want to play this one section of it. It's filled with his stupidity, okay, not just one thing, but this is her talking to him about his extreme abortion legislation that he signed into law as governor of Minnesota.
I want to clarify what the law is there in Minnesota. Abortion Finder, a website that helps women find access, says abortion is legal throughout pregnancy in Minnesota. There is no ban or a limit on abortion in Minnesota based on how far along in a pregnancy you are. You signed the bill that makes it legal through all 9 months. Is that a position you think Democrats should advocate for nationally?
Look, the vice president and I have been clear. The restoration of Roe versus Wade is what we're asking for.
But that
this
law
is a
goes
woman's
far beyond
right
Roe v. Wade.
to make her own choice. The law is very clear. It does not change that. That was been debunked on every occasion.
Debunked. You know, and Shannon Bream's going to hold him accountable.
He signed the law.
He signed the law that has no time restriction on abortion, and he just says it's debunked. And, you know, that works when you're a Democrat being interviewed by liberals. They never question you. And she follows up on it, which is good. Listen.
Look, the vice president and I have been clear. The restoration of Roe versus Wade is what we're asking for.
But that
this
law
is a
goes
woman's
far beyond
right
Roe v. Wade.
to make her own choice. The law is very clear. It does not change that. That was been debunked on every occasion.
But
wait. Let's
agree. What you signed is there's not a single limit through 9 months of pregnancy. Roe had a trimester framework that did have limits through the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that.
This puts the decision with the woman and her healthcare providers. The situation we have is when you don't have the ability of healthcare providers to provide that, that's where you end up with a situation like Amanda Zaworski in Texas, where they are afraid to do what's necessary. This doesn't change anything. It puts the decision back on to the woman, to the physicians, and we know that this is simply something to be brought up to be very clear. Donald Trump's asking for a nationwide abortion ban.
Wait, he
and
has
again,
said that
we don't see this
he
as
has
a
said
winning
repeatedly
campaign.
that he will not sign a national abortion ban. Are you calling that just, it's a flat out lie?
Yes, of course. And Senator Vance has in the past said so too. Now, look, they may see this as an election issue. We see it as a right of women to make their own bodily decisions. And
okay. No, Trump has said many times he would not sign or veto a national ban on abortion. And even when confronted by that, Walz says, well, no, he's gonna sign an abortion ban. That's just not true. And you got to wonder, what's going on with the Democrats right now is this is why they want to arrest Elon Musk in California. They've lost control of the flow of information, right? They've lost control of the flow of information. Everyone knows what the truth is because of Twitter. You want to call it X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Everybody knows what is really going on and what's really said. And they can't get away with their talking point lies. They're the ones that have been debunked.
What I would have asked him, and I think she did an okay job. I mean, she's a lawyer, but I would have said to her, when is it okay for a woman to abort a 9-month-old baby? Yeah. Because your law allows that. Give me a scenario where that is acceptable to you.
That would have been the whole interview for me.
I mean,
much.
I wouldn't have moved on from anything. I mean, Trump talks about this, and he always brings up the former governor of Virginia. Well, now he can bring up Tim Walz. He's basically saying that a woman can decide up to the day of birth if she wants to have the child or not. That her and the doctor can make that decision. If you're going to have pro-choice, you have to have some limitations on that. You cannot condone aborting a 9-month-old baby. That's crazy. Sickening. That's sick. Even any abortion to me is wrong. Any abortion is ending life. And I saw a video that was very upsetting on X a few weeks ago, and it was like a microscopic view inside the womb when an abortion took place. They inject something, and you can see all the cells that are clustered together just completely die.
Oh my goodness!
It was really sad.
I don't want to see that.
And instantly, and it was like a 6-week-old, a 7-week-old forming together. It was disturbing. It was awful. These people don't know what they're talking about. They've sold their soul to the political devil. And to get to a place where liberals, I mean, this is the radicalization of the Democratic Party. They have gone to a place now where they are totally fine and signing bills that allow a woman to kill her baby at the 9-month mark, the day of birth. And she should have asked him that. Do you think it's okay for a woman to abort her baby on the day that she's due? Is that okay? Is that legal in your state?
Yeah.
Ask him that, and he wouldn't know what to say. I mean, that is abhorrent to me. And this guy lies for a living. Everything he says is a lie, but he did sign that bill, and that's the truth. He did sign it, and there's no getting out of that.
Well, he's completely...
He's a piece of garbage like
He
her.
is completely pathological. He lies so much, I don't even think he knows he's lying. I don't think he knows another way.
Well, he signed that bill.
He knows what he did.
So it's the law. He knows what he did, and now he's trying to lie about it and reword it. And this is what liberals do. They try to repackage it, reword it, make it sound nice instead of what it really is, which is flat out murder.
And what kind of sicko, okay, what kind of sicko would allow abortions to take place just to help them in some poll somewhere? You know, I give an example of something. President Trump did something that he's been asked about a lot lately, and what I think he did was pretty courageous. He was asked about this at a press conference a few days ago, and I've heard it come up a few times this week. The Democrats think they got something. There's no October surprises on Trump. They've already gone through. They've already burned every little thing they have. They may have him on some jaywalking back in 72 or something in New York. I don't know. But he did something that they're just really going after him on. When Trump killed Soleimani, Iranian general who oversaw all the terrorism of the world, right? Mm-hmm. But he was an Iranian general. The Iranians contacted the United States government and said, we have to have a saving face, symbolic response to it. And Trump made a deal with them that they could fire some rockets near a U.S. base in Iraq so long as they hit out in the desert, right? And the media have brought this up recently, and they're going on and on about it, acting as if he was allowing an attack on U.S. soldiers. Now, they're saying that some of the soldiers are having some hearing issues or something. I don't know. These new recruits that, you know, some of them are drag queens and stuff, and they're like in the military now. So I don't know how true that is or not. But what President Trump did, I think, was pretty smart. What's he supposed to do? Go to all-out war with Iran when they just want to drop a few rockets out in the deserts of Iraq where nobody's at? I think what he did was pretty smart and courageous and avoided a war, right? What was he supposed to do?
You got to do it.
Have them attack a U.S. base and have us go to war with Iran? You know, I don't think so. I think what President Trump did was pretty gutsy. You know, because these other leaders that we've had, well, they're owned by the military-industrial complex, so they want war just based on that. But they're always trying to prove that they're like an alpha male, right? Like they're the boss, they're in charge. Trump doesn't have to do that. Everybody already knows. Okay, he doesn't have to prove that he doesn't have to start a war to prove to everybody he's tough. Right? He got shot. He got up, and he, you know, wanted to continue the speech. He would have finished that speech in Butler that day if the Secret Service wouldn't have made him leave. You know that, guys.
Well, what was interesting is they had the nurse there who had helped him in the ER, and
I missed her when she talked.
Yeah, she said she held his hand, and she said that he was very calm and very concerned about his family, and was talking to his family on the phone. And she was holding his hand, and she said she just couldn't believe how strong and calm he was, and he was reassuring his family that she said that was his main priority, was to let them all know he was okay. And, she gave a very impressive telling, and they had a lot of interesting, I watched the whole rally, they had a lot of really great speakers up there. They had the doctor that worked on Corey Campitor, who tried to save his life, and he was there. They also had the guy in the hat, the green hat that Trump always talks about that was sitting behind him.
Well, this guy...
That was pretty cool.
This guy was interesting. Okay, the guy that had kind of like, I don't know what you call that hat he had, but the
it's
guy...
like a Gilligan's Island hat,
maybe,
but green.
The guy, and he was behind Trump, like, what's going on, looking around in the stands behind him. He spoke on stage at the podium before Trump, and he's a retired police officer, and he said that he was a Democrat his entire life until Trump came down the escalator.
Yep.
And I thought it was I thought it was a pretty good speech.
So was the
he gave.
doctor that worked on Corey Campitor. He was a lifelong Democrat, and he was at the Butler rally, the first one and this one. So there were a lot of great speakers yesterday. They had people from the military fly over and parachute. Trump did a flyover on the plane. So if you didn't see it, I recommend watching the whole thing on Right Side. And then Elon came up from he was sitting in the front row, came up and gave a speech for about 10 minutes about voting and the importance of voting. And he's right, make sure you're registered and get people to vote and to register. He talked about that, and then, like you said, Eric and Lara were there, and Scott Pressler came up. So it was very exciting. They're really working hard in Pennsylvania, and I think that he's, it's looking really good for Trump. I mean, I can't believe it's a month away.
Kathy, right? There's a new poll out today.
Crazy.
Trump's 14 points ahead of Kamala in Pennsylvania.
Well, she's just a disaster, and every interview she does just makes things worse.
Oh, let me play this clip. I almost forgot to play this. I was going to play this in the first segment when we were talking about the 47 people that showed up. It's kind of a funny number because Trump's going to be the 47th president. 47 people showed up to see Kamala. This is her on an interview over the weekend.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does she think has to happen in the region?
She speaks in more vague terms than Obama.
Riddles.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're almost like riddles.
Yeah.
Like you get that. That's exactly right. They're like riddles you have to figure out. And she doesn't even know what the hell she's saying. She's coached what to say, and she memorizes things, what to say. So when she goes out, she is basically repeating a script, and she's just can't. This woman is stupid.
Yes.
This woman is stupid. Okay? I am sorry. And that is not a sexist thing. That's a fact.
Total bird brain.
She's a dumb person.
Yes.
And if this woman gets elected, this country's effed. I can't put it any nicer way. And I'd say the word if I could, but that's too extreme even for me to say. But maybe I've said it before on the show. I don't remember. But we're effed, basically. Screwed. And I don't think the MAGA movement will go away if Trump's going to win, though. Trump's going to win.
Going to win big.
He's going to win. I predict that this is going to be a landslide victory. But there are a lot of people that still hate Trump so much. But I don't know if there is the excitement around Kamala.
No, there's none.
That they need to get people to actually go and vote. And there are a lot of people you don't hear about that have changed their mind on Trump. Or there are a lot of people that are like, look, I don't like the guy, but she cannot win. She's horrible. And at least they get it. You don't have to like Trump. Even he said that. You don't have to like me. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. But if you seriously think this woman who just spoke here, and we should try to find the one where her teleprompter broke and she really lost her mind then. If you really think she can run this country successfully, her and Tim Walz, you need your head examined. I mean, honestly, I don't know what you're smoking or drinking or what you're doing, but you're out of it if you think that this woman should lead anything. She couldn't even lead a PTA meeting. She's an idiot. She's a complete idiot. I'm sorry. And this thing with Howard Stern, I'm not going to listen to it. I'm sure there'll be clips. But like I said, it's just going to be one big Trump bashing session. Nothing about her policies. She doesn't have any policies. I mean, just listen to her talk. She's a moron.
Howard Stern used to be the stand up against the man, fight the system. Now he's pig vomit, right? He's become pig vomit from the movie.
I think he's transitioning.
Now, he's an old lady is what he is. He's an old lady.
He's basically
he lives in Florida now.
He's like the guy Will Ferrell's driving around
He's
with.
He's another old lady New Yorker that's retired to Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. Last week, I was telling you that the $25 extravaganza was ending at MyPillow.com by the end of the week, and it is. It's gone.
Oh, my goodness.
But there's a brand new special. This is for a limited time, and this is now – I know Halloween's not here yet, but this is the time to start doing your Christmas shopping if you've not already begun. And Kathy and I, we start our Christmas shopping like over the summer because – by the time Christmas gets here, we don't have to buy anything. It makes it a lot more affordable
Time is
Christmas.
just going by so fast.
But they have some incredible new specials on the pillows at MyPillow that I want to talk about. These are all with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and of course free shipping on all orders over $75. Okay, and when you buy someone a MyPillow for Christmas, they will keep it for years and tell you about. My mother. We got my mother MyPillow years ago. She always mentions it to me. And in fact, I was at her house recently and she was like, here's that MyPillow. She was showing it to me. Out of every gift, and keep in mind, I am 53 years old. Out of every gift I've given my mom since I was a little kid, the only one that I remember, she remembers, and that she still has is that MyPillow I got her, right? I got it for Mother's Day a few years ago. And here's the special, okay? The standard MyPillow is just $14.88. That's for the standard MyPillow that started it all.
That's
with our
crazy.
promo code Kane
I
at
bought
checkout.
your first one. It was $60. $65.
And we didn't. It was our first.
It's the same pillow.
Yeah, it was our first MyPillow, and I told Kathy, I said $65 for a pillow. I hope it's good, and of course it's spectacular, and it's worth $65. But you can get it now just for $14.88.
That's an incredible deal.
The queen size MyPillow, just $18.88, and the regular price on that $69.98. By the way, so the queen MyPillow just $18.88, and the king size is just $19.88. And I'll tell you, Kathy, I did not know there was a king size.
Yeah, we have a couple of them.
Do we?
Yeah, we have all different sizes. We have like 8 MyPillows on our bed.
I don't think so. I think we have the standard and the queen because the king size is really, really long.
Oh, maybe I'll get one of those.
So I would like to have the king size myself.
I'll order a
See
couple
how long
of those.
that is?
Yeah, that's nice.
No, we don't have a king size. We have a queen.
In fact, we keep a couple on the couch. We have like 6 or 7 on the bed because Brian and I both, when you get older, you like to sleep a little elevated. Because of heartburn and nasal drip and all these things that happen when you get over 50 that are fun. So this is a good time if you have to sleep elevated or propped up. This is a really good time. You could buy 4 pillows for what we used to spend for one.
That's right.
So stock up.
Yeah. So the king size is just $19.88 with our promo code Kane at checkout.
Yeah, I'll get a couple of those.
Kane. And remember, free shipping on all orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout. You can use our promo code on all the specials at MyPillow.com, but this is the time. Do your Christmas shopping. Get it out of the way early, and whoever you give their MyPillows to, they will love them.
And get the pillowcases to go with them, too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, listen, we're out of time. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time.